What's up, you guys? Halvorsen here. I am here to do a 10 things in my studio list. We are going to be talking a lot about the tools that I use, the fun little toys that I have, and everything creative that goes into me making a song. So looking forward to that. Before we start, I want to thank NCS for giving me the opportunity to make this video. It's a lot of fun. And also shamelessly plug my new song, Band-Aid, out on NCS. So stream that on all platforms. I need the money to pay rent, please. Let's start off with number 10. That would be my pocket operator. This is not a calculator. It is a little sampler and sequencer. It has built-in everything. It's battery operated. It's essentially just a circuit board, but I have this little silicone case on it. What it does is it records audio and lets you play it back in a sequence. So it's like a tiny little instrument with a microphone where anything you record becomes the sound of that instrument. It's not really useful for like making a song per se. Like I never use this in a song, but just like as a creative exercise to break out from my normal DAW. This thing is fantastic. Next up, number 9. Let's just go basic, I think. Yeah, headphones and studio monitors. My headphones are the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros. These are amazing. They are not super duper expensive. They are pro headphones, but they are so sturdy. They are open back, which means that the sound leaks out like crazy, but they have a super nice soundstage and my ears can actually breathe when they're inside. And the coiled cable just, yeah, lets me pretty much go to the bathroom with them on. It's very, very nice. My studio monitors, they look like Yamaha HS5s, which are like a freaking industry standard, I guess. But they're not. They're way older. These are Yamaha HS50Ms, which is a mouthful. But yeah, they're just standard basic 5-inch woofer studio monitors. They produce sound and they do it very balanced and very nicely. Number 8 is my toy box. Because I am actually 5 years old. This thing is a lot of fun. It is just a plastic box with a bunch of stupid things in it. And it used to be way fuller, but I have moved from my parents' house and I've left pretty much all my percussion behind. So no bongos, no tambourines, very sad. But what I do have is I have a flute, I have a recorder, and there's a violin. Violins are fun. There's a pair of drumsticks. I don't have a drum kit, I just like to hit on stuff, much to my neighbor's dismay. I also don't know how to play the violin. I can actually demonstrate to which degree I do not know how to play the violin. This thing is probably out of tune. I literally wouldn't know. That is by far the cleanest note I have ever gotten. A box of toys. I have used that violin for so much. Because even though I don't know how to play it, just recording a sound like that, like an acoustic sound, and fiddling with it digitally and just like putting in little MIDI programmed melodies and screwing around with the audio, it's so much fun. Next up, we have number 7, which is my audio interface. My audio interface I bought without knowing anything about it. I bought it because it was the cheapest thing that they had in stock that have upwards facing controls. Because all of my previous audio interfaces had these they were like little rack inserts, if that makes sense. They had the controls on the front, so every time I had to like change something or put something in, I had to lie down on my desk to see what I was doing. But this one doesn't have that. It has everything up front, and it's huge and a lot of fun. It has a built-in microphone for like talkback if you have a vocal booth and an artist in there that you want to be like, can you do take 2 with less air? I never used that because I can't afford a vocal booth. But yeah, that's my audio interface. Good fun. So coming up at number 6, we have my pedals and my guitar amplifier. And you might think, well, that's only useful for guitar, but it's so much more useful than that. Because what I do a lot of the time is I run my synths and my samples and everything out from my audio interface into my pedals and through my amplifier and record that back into my PC, reamping essentially. And it's so cool. Like you get this like hands-on kind of thing when you're doing sound design that way, because I have all these pedals with all these knobs, and instead of like tinkering around with effects plugins with my mouse and keyboard, I actually get to, you know, screw around with knobs and stuff. So that's very fun. I did that for the lead in Band-Aid. That lead is actually layered both like the standard synth that I used and designed, and then on top of that we have a reamped version of that lead, which is way fuller, just gives some of that stereo image and distortion and reverb, and yeah. So that's something that I do a lot of the time. Okay, number 5 is my guitars. I have a bunch of guitars. Right now in this apartment, I have my electric guitar, I have my bass guitar, and I have my acoustic guitar. And I also have some on the wall. Behind me, a mandolin and a ukulele, and there's the violin. All just stringed instruments. The fun thing about knowing how to play guitar is that if you get handed a stringed instrument, you pretty much know how to play it. Well, not really, but you can make it make sound. So I had a banjo for a good while. That was fun. Thought about making a country career, but that didn't happen. We don't talk about that. Number 4 would be my microphone, or microphones, but yeah, microphone. I record all my vocals pretty much on this mic. Let's see if I can actually show that. That is an SE Electronics SE2200 2A multi-pattern microphone, I think. Did I say that right? That is a fantastic microphone. It's a multi-pattern microphone, which means that on the back of it, I have these 3 little settings. I can set it from condenser to, well, no, from cardioid to figure 8 to omnidirectional. I never used those 2 last ones. I only record using cardioid because that's what you're supposed to do for vocals. I read that somewhere at some point. It's a good microphone. It's been with me for years and years and years. And I love it to death. Let's move on. Number 3 would be my MIDI controller. My MIDI controller is a Nectar Impact LX 61 Plus. Wow, I feel like I should get like Amazon kickback from all these products that I... But yeah, this is a fantastic MIDI controller. I used to have an M Audio Code 49, which was a 49 key keybed. But yeah, I moved up to 61 because I wanted more octaves to play around with when playing the piano. It has everything I need. It has keys, it has knobs, it has sliders, it has little pads that I can click on and make funny sounds. Yeah, that's about it. On top of it, I have a Stream Deck, which I consider like part of the MIDI controller because I very often use it like to... I use them as one, pretty much. The thing affects the other. I also have one button on that Stream Deck that just plays this. Ooh. Number 2, I have put my phone. Where did I put my phone? There's my phone. It's a phone. It does what phones do, but the reason I've included it in this list is because I watched a Charlie Puth video at some point, and he said, use voice memos. And so I started using voice memos. And voice memos have saved my life, because wherever I am, if I think of anything at all that's like melodic or percussionary, I record it into my phone, and that thing is just a bank of ideas whenever I run out of ideas on myself. Also for notes, just like writing down lyrics wherever I am. I use it while recording as well for lyrics, like I just hold it behind the microphone. So that's super useful. I love my phone. Number 1. The big moment. Number 1, I've put my DAW, my digital audio workstation. I use FL Studio 20. I have used FL Studio since the start. Well, that's not true. I started out with GarageBand, as every kid does. But then I moved on to FL Studio at some point. And the thing that I like the most about it is that it has that little pattern sequencer maker thing over here that I haven't seen that in any other DAWs. And it's just a little like pattern maker where you can put in individual samples into a pattern, and then you work with that pattern in the like actual composition window of the playlist instead of working with individual samples when, yeah. That's fun. I like that. That was it. Thank you so much for stopping by. That was my top 10 things in the studio. Thanks to NCS again for allowing me to do this. It's been a lot of fun. And check out Band-Aid, definitely. It is out on NCS on all stores and streaming platforms right now. It's been a good long time coming for that song. It's been a work in progress forever, and it means a lot to me that you guys listen to it. So please check it out. Also follow me on social media. I am a shameless plug when it comes to this kind of stuff because I have like 400 followers and it's kind of embarrassing. But yeah, halvorsen music. Please do follow me so I can flex on my friends. That's it. See y'all next time.